Hey everyone, this time let's take a look at this car. How much do you guys know about it? The ET5T is a rare electric touring car, and its front end is pretty much identical to the sedan version. Even the size of the car is no different. What do you guys think? Would you like it at first glance? Honestly speaking, I quite like it. For the novelty, I even think it looks better than the Model 3 Highland. Maybe because the Model 3 didn't change much this time, and I'm already tired of it. What I like about NIO is that they put a lot of effort into the details of their cars. Look at this logo and the side trim of the car body. Both are made with a painting process just like the body paint, not like the usual chrome plating. The chrome trim on my Model 3 has already oxidized and it looks terrible. Moving to the side due to its station wagon design, the back half of the car is somewhat flattened, which is what won me over. It's very elegant. If I have to point out a drawback, it would be that the suspension is a bit high. If it were lower, it would have a more pronounced sporty feel. This car has 20-inch wheels with Michelin tires. This size strikes a balance between aesthetics, sportiness, and comfort. Let's drive it in a bit and see how it performs. The rear of the car perfectly fits the look that a station wagon should have. With a downward pressing spoiler and slim taillights, the back appears very compact. Since electric cars need to ensure that side collisions don't damage the batteries, they are designed to be quite wide, which contributes to a dynamic look at the rear. The trunk has a large opening, making it very convenient for loading stuff. There's a hook here, which I heard is handy for hanging equipment, like lights when camping. The lighting is ample, with 2 lights on each side. The one on the right can be detached, designed for camping use, and can be carried around at night. Just press the black button and you can take the light out. Let's take another look at the exterior. Since we are pressed for time, we need to move on to check out the interior. If you like this video, please hit the like button below and the subscribe button. Your subscription means a lot to me. Let's go inside the car and take a look. First, observe the door. The upper layer is made of synthetic leather. Below that, there are vertical stripes made of plastic with a skin-like texture. Then, in the middle, there's soft synthetic leather that matches the seat color wrapping around. At the very bottom, there are hard plastic vertical stripes and an injection molded lower panel. Once you sit inside, the first thing you notice, well, it's a common issue with NIO cars. Due to the swappable battery feature, even when the seat is adjusted to its lowest position, it still feels quite high. It doesn't feel like you're in a sedan, but rather an SUV. The steering wheel has a 3-spoke design. On the left, there are controls for the NOP assisted driving, and on the right, there are multimedia controls. The buttons are finely made with clear feedback. The seats are on the softer side, which is quite comfortable, and the seat cushion can be extended, which is a fantastic feature. I really like the design of this one-piece seat, but a downside is that the headrest position is not adjustable. Based on my experience, this isn't good news for your neck, especially during long drives. The center console has a design style that I quite like with a few buttons, and here is the gear stick. There are 2 cup holders and a wireless charging pad. It's a pity there's only one. It would be better if there were 2. The armrest box is standard and can be opened from both the left and right sides. Do you actually like this way of opening? Or do you think the traditional way of opening would be more convenient? You can let me know in the comments section below. Next, let's take a look at the central control screen. Many cars have horizontal screens for the central control, but NIO still uses a vertical one, which is a bit disappointing to me. However, the design within the vehicle system is outstanding. You can tell that NIO has put a lot of thought into this because managing all of the car's controls on such a small screen is quite challenging. The overall aesthetic is very pleasing without overly flashy animations, and the fonts are also attractive. Moreover, the operation is very straightforward. For instance, right now I can perform many operations with just a single click. You can play or stop music, skip songs, add to favorites, and control the progress bar. Adjusting the air conditioning temperature and airflow can all be done with a single operation. By pressing and holding the temperature or fan icon and moving it left or right, you can achieve precise control, just like this. For more complex adjustments, you can enter the air conditioning settings interface to adjust the temperature and airflow direction. Pay attention to the changes on the interface as you adjust the heating for all seats in the car. The animations on these interfaces are very intuitive and smooth. Also, this part resembles the notification bar on Android phones. Some frequently used functions can be accessed here, like turning on the camera, opening the trunk, and so on. Additionally, you can customize the bottom section by adding functions that you find useful. Simply long press the function you want to add and drag it up, and it's done. Next is the settings page. Here we can see that NIO has categorized the pages on the left side. At the top, there are account-related settings, followed by vehicle control-related settings, which are the most frequently used pages. Then, there are driving-related pages and assisted driving settings. At the bottom, there are options that we mostly set while parked, like display settings, sound settings, and system information, so they are all placed at the bottom. The whole logic is very clear, and I guess by now you already have a good understanding of NIO's vehicle system. Let's see what we have under frequently used settings. There's the battery interface, ambient light color settings, custom color options, and some preset color choices with a rich selection. Upon a quick glance, there are several shades of orange and green along with other colors. You can take your time and browse through them here. There are settings for doors and windows, seats, rear view mirrors, and the steering wheel. As you can see, not only are the categories straightforward and clear, but the operation is also very smooth with quick responses to touch. After all that talk, let's start driving the car and see how it performs. I can't wait any longer. Let's get started. Due to the rushed filming schedule, some of the earlier shots were set with incorrect parameters, resulting in some lag. I apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. First, let me share some information about this car. It has a dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain with a total power output of 360 kilowatts. All NIO cars come with dual-motor all-wheel drive, whether it's a high-end or low-end model. According to official data, the acceleration time from 0 to 100 km per hour is 4 seconds. However, NIO is not being honest with this figure because the acceleration time is definitely less than 4 seconds. The first impression when driving is that it feels very wide, as mentioned earlier. I just drove over some speed bumps, and the car handled the minor jolts very comfortably. It doesn't feel as tight as the Model 3, but there are also no excessive bounces or jitters. This car uses a 5-link suspension structure at both the front and rear, providing good control during turns and over bumps. Regarding the power that we are interested in, this car has a dual-motor, all-wheel drive system. The front motor is a 150 kilowatt asynchronous auxiliary drive motor, and the rear is a 210 kilowatt permanent magnet synchronous main drive motor with a total power output of 360 kilowatts. This powertrain is the same as the brand new ES6, achieving high performance and high efficiency. As mentioned, all NIO cars have dual motor all-wheel drive, whether high or low end, and the official 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration time is stated as 4 seconds. However, NIO is understating this, as the actual time is definitely less than 4 seconds. I've already talked about the high performance. The high efficiency comes from the use of silicon carbide modules and flat wire motors. NIO has also made several attempts in the structure of the efficient motor to reduce the drag loss of the permanent magnet synchronous motor. When driving at a constant speed of 100 km per hour, the drag loss is less than 350 watts. Additionally, the car has a streamlined appearance, and it's indeed a pleasure to see it on the road. This model is not very common in our area, but it might be quite prevalent in larger cities. Now, talking about the acceleration pedal, it's been finely tuned to offer a linear response. In the early models of NIO, the acceleration pedals were quite aggressive. Not Tesla aggressive, but rather non-linear and unpredictable. With the introduction of the NT2 platform, many of these early quirks have been ironed out. As for the steering wheel, even when I crank it up to Sport Plus mode, it doesn't become overly stiff or hard to maneuver. It offers a moderate level of resistance, making for a comfortable and responsive driving experience. Regarding noise insulation, given the car's positioning, it doesn't employ double-layer noise-insulating glass. However, that doesn't mean it underperforms in this aspect. It excellently isolates wind noise, though there's room for improvement when it comes to the noise emanating from the tires. This might be due to the relatively high tire pressure. For electric vehicles like Tesla and NIO, the official recommendation is to maintain a tire pressure around 3.0 bars. The rationale behind this is to minimize the tire's contact area with the ground, reducing energy loss and extending the vehicle's range. However, this isn't exactly conducive to noise reduction. Personally, I find that adjusting the tire pressure to approximately 2.5 bars significantly enhances comfort. I've had friends jokingly remark that with the tire pressure set to 2.5 bars, it feels as if the car's suspension has transformed into an air suspension system. During rapid acceleration and deceleration, the car's pitching and diving are excellently controlled, which is crucial. Let me share some reasons why consumers might be resistant to electric vehicles. In China, the penetration rate of electric vehicles is already quite high, approaching 40%. This means that out of every 100 cars sold, 40 are chargeable vehicles. However, as more and more are sold, there have been numerous complaints about passengers experiencing motion sickness while riding in electric vehicles. I suspect this is because electric vehicles generally have substantial power. As I mentioned earlier, if the acceleration pedal is not well tuned, and if there's regenerative braking after releasing the acceleration pedal, combined with a loosely tuned chassis, the car will noticeably sway during acceleration and deceleration, leading to motion sickness for passengers. Fortunately, mainstream car manufacturers are now paying great attention to this issue. Newly released vehicles are equipped with excellent handling tuning, like this ET5T from NIO. However, I must mention that the regenerative braking of this car is not powerful enough, and the response is slightly delayed. I hope they continue to optimize this in the future to achieve the highest level of performance. If you've made it this far and enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Your subscription means a lot to me. As I was making this video today, I just came across some news. The ET5T has been awarded a 5-star safety rating by the Euro NCAP under the 2023 regulations. This makes it the third NIO model to achieve a 5-star safety rating under the Euro NCAP's 2023 criteria. Moreover, it has achieved the highest score among all the models tested to date. Getting back to its driving modes, this car also features modes for snow and sand terrains. In these modes, the vehicle is better equipped to get out of tricky situations. When encountering sandy or snowy conditions, the system intelligently distributes power to help us quickly escape such challenging environments. Additionally, I'd like to mention that the suspension travel on this car is somewhat short. When encountering larger bumps, the springs can easily max out. Just like what happened now, there was a big pothole on the road and I accidentally drove into it. The impact was quite strong and it even knocked my camera out of alignment. Alright, let's wrap things up. This car strikes a good balance. Much like the Model 3, it's one of NIO's mass market models. Its design should resonate well with the younger crowd. In terms of value for money, it's pretty high up there. At least in China, its price matches that of a similarly equipped Model 3. How much does this car cost in your area? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Would you consider getting this car? Feel free to share your thoughts with me. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up by hitting the like button below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Your subscription means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Didn't expect you'd stick around till now. This is truly the end. Wishing you a delightful day every day. Bye.